Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Do want to apologize for yesterday. My internet is fickle and does what it wants to do when it wants to do it, I guess. Uh, things beyond my control. It sucks, but what are you gonna do? Stevie B, good morning. Fresh pot of coffee, Max. How you doing? Elizabeth Martin, how you doing? My sandpiper. Jen in the chat. Pyromedic here. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody's doing great. I guess you guys caught the title of this morning's episode and the concept of the fourth dimension. That's just something I look. I'm no mathematician. I've been stated that numerous times, but I know enough about it to be familiar with the concept. But I stumbled on something that explained something to me that was really unique, and it's a good way, give me a new way of looking at things and a new perspective and how paranormal works. And it brings it into a mathematical, scientific perspective. I'm Michael Haywood. Good morning. Judy Wheeler, good morning. Lorette, this morning, good. For me, afternoon for you. Excuse me, let me see here something. Let's see. It's after 4:00 where you're at, right, Lorette? I hope everybody enjoyed Tuesday's episode. It's a well, what you doing, girl? What you doing, girl? Yeah. My sidekick this morning. Anyway, Buck, there was so much that we had to discuss. It was just so little time. And we went over half an hour, and still there was so much more to discuss. We need to get back together and kind of structure it all and put it back into a little tight little package with a bow on top. But talking about the paranormal, how things work, portals, and people's fascination with portals, or people's disgust and general disdain for the idea of portals and how they work. It's one of those things where you just sit back and say, what do we actually know? Let's look at the science. Can science give us an idea of how this works? Yes and no. We are three-dimensional beings. It is very hard, if not difficult, for nigh impossible for some of us to imagine a fourth dimensional plane where everything we have here is third. And it was just, in this thing, I'm going to show you a really short video. This lady describes the concept of fourth dimensional space and its interaction with third dimensional space, and in correlation with how our third dimensional space interacts with the two dimensional space. And I'm bringing that up as how you can put in perspective how things sometimes can just disappear, or reappear, or how something can appear in one place and all of a sudden disappear. Um, I'm going to take this for instance. Okay. The trackways of Bigfoot, the, 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 the tracks that suddenly just end. Now, it can be explained through simple um, terrain. You know, you can go from soft to hard, where you're leaving good indentations to where you're leaving absolutely nothing. You can break limbs, or you won't have limbs to hit to break, that sort of thing. But when you get into a point to where you're in open space and there's no reason for these tracks to just disappear, they disappear for no reason. They'll appear and then disappear. I have encountered this myself. Looking at possible avenues of travel, coming through the brush, I saw no disturbance. Coming up a creek, I saw no other disturbance. I saw a partial print, a full print, and then another partial print, and then it was gone. Gone. Okay. And the subject was heavy enough to leave us an indentation that is discernible. It went really deep because the ground was just compact. It wasn't hard, it's just compact. If you understand, it's a riverbed. Okay. Portals opening into a fourth dimension. Something opening these doors up. I don't know. Um, let's see. String theory. Yep. That's something I do want to get into later on. Good morning, Eric. Before I go any further, I just want to say that I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating. I hope you guys had a great holiday and it was peaceful, it was kind, and it was really good to you. And I hope the rest of the year goes with you. It goes the same way. Porthole. Yeah. uh, Jimmy Crack Corn, how you doing? Yep, yep, yep. Any porthole in the storm. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Judy, you're welcome. String theory, it's where everything is connected. You could have something on one end of the universe that's connected to something on the other end. The bending of light, how wormholes are formed. Um, you have a point on this end and a point on the other end that's attached by energy, a filament, a fiber, and thoughts, dreams, feelings, expressions can be transferred through that string, and I'm trying to explain it in the most layman terms possible because that's all I know how to do. If there's anybody who can, let's see. Yes. Now I watched the show the other day, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch it as a 3-parter, and it's going to be like damn near 6 hours long to watch. I'm going to have to study what they're saying because I'll I'll get back to this other thing on the fourth dimensional concept in just a minute. I'm going to go on with this. Maggie Dorr, good morning. Um, this gentleman was interviewed, younger fellow, and he says he remembers all of his past lives. All of his past lives leading back 12,000 years. He was um, around the fall of Atlantis. And he has chanted and spoken what he professes to be Atlantean. He professes to know how the pyramids were built, how they lifted the stone using sound waves generating to make things lighter. There you go. Here's Buck. String theory proposes the fundamental constituents of the universe are one-dimensional strings rather than point-like particles. Exactly. What we perceive as particles are actually vibrations in loops of string, each with its own characteristic frequency. Ta-da! Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Uh, it sounded a hell of a lot better coming from you than me. I mean, the way it was just mud. But you explained it better. I know exactly what you're talking about. But when we're talking about physics, um, it all boils down to mathematics, which is a universal language. Universal language is mathematics, which I'm horrible at. Uh, 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 yeah, I appreciate it, Buck. Um, but the things that we cannot understand, we need to look to science. Now, on the basis of science, we also have to have, along with that, need to have some type of balance of spiritual awareness. This is my personal opinion. That's the only thing that's going to make whatever we're looking for make sense. We need to look into the past and then and envision the future, that type of thing. Um, so this guy I was talking about, he professes to know all this stuff from his past life or lives, as he has been reincarnated multiple times over a span of thousands of years. And I subscribe to that now, reincarnation. We have a destiny that just keeps on going. We keep on going. That's right. Science and spiritualism aren't opposing forces, but are often pitted against one another. Yes, indeed they are. And this is where the folly begins. The scientists who have a keen understanding of their spiritual awareness are the ones who go farther and make those leaps of faith, whatever that faith may be, whether it's in, the consciousness of the universe, what we're looking for. But I'm going to show you something really quick. Let's see if I can pull this up here. And hopefully, let me do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to play this real quick. And can you guys hear me okay?
This two-dimensional creature has locked some precious gems away in a safe. She's checked the safe from every angle and is sure that no one will be able to break in without a key. But she hasn't taken into account the idea that a three-dimensional creature, such as myself, might be peering in from above. She doesn't even know the concept of above. I could steal these gems without a key and without damaging the safe, and she would have no idea how they were taken. We should keep an eye out for ourselves. A four-dimensional creature could steal from our safes without a key, could take the yolk from an egg without breaking the shell, appear in a closed room, or see inside of our brains. The fourth dimension is perpendicular to all of our normal 3D space directions, and we have no walls up against that direction.
Interesting, huh? That's a good way to describe everything. Right. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's the closest thing I can come up with. You know, most everybody has originated from here through other Bigfoot channels, right? And we all know that I don't just talk about that here, but for the sake of argument or conversation, we're going to use Sasquatch as our model today. How they disappear? Are there portals? Well, a lot of people like to scoff at that. They're like, "Oh, there's no such a thing," blah 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 blah, or the smell that is associated with Sasquatch. What is that horrendous, nasty odor? Most of it is associated with garbage, wet dog. Sometimes it's associated with roadkill or decay. And I've heard, and I've been trying like hell to find the scientists to describe this phenomena of actual portals opening up, and what there is a residual odor caused by a portal that has been opened. from one dimension to another. When that happens, the decay is the cells at the atomic level that have immediately begin to decay as soon as this preacher steps from one dimension to the other, and it's like a layer has been burned off, and that's that smell. That's the smell, according to some scientists. When I'm talking about they weren't talking about Sasquatch. They were just talking about portals leading from one dimensional portals leading from one to the other, and what happens if something should happen to pass through that portal. So that would explain an odor, okay? And then there's the fourth dimension. How does that how do we imagine that? Decay, dry death. That's a unique description. Not like any scent I've ever encountered. Now I've smelt a lot of death. Um, Demons have a sulfur smell. Yeah, but what are demons? But possibly extra dimensional creatures, beings, sentient beings. Right. Of course, I mean, I don't know what type of smell that has. I've never heard about it, but I'm not saying it doesn't. It's got to. That's a lot of friction. Mm-hmm. Crazy, ain't it? It's how your mind, extra interdimensional beings, yeah, demons, demons. Are they all bad? And this is the part that I'm going to get into the weeds with here. This is the part that people are going to be like, maybe I should tune out now. Now hold on a minute. We always, as a as a race of people, as a the human race as a whole, tends to fear what we do not understand and label it as such. Um, Usually evil, right? Um, there's a story I heard about some of the lost tribes in the Amazon. These are tribes of people that have went so remote, so deep into the Amazon that they've been cut off from the outside world for a very, very, very long time, possibly hundreds of years in some cases. Um, there's a story of a group of uh, missionaries. It's always missionaries that went in and actually made contact with one of these supposed lost tribes. These lost tribes were, you know, kind of friendly with them, but they did one thing, and I can't remember. It was either they took a picture or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the fact of the matter is, oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Go with yourself. Yeah. I'm gonna dig in here and give a couple of y'all a wrench so I can take care of that stuff. Anyway, back to what I was saying. These people, the missionaries, did something that alerted these people that they were demons, they were devils. Okay. Now these people, they that's right, Maggie. Uh, we they didn't speak any language that we know. Okay, this lost tribe, how they were communicating were just through, best thing I can relate to is, they were just doing the best they can with hand signals and showing pottery or pictures or whatever. So that's the only way they could really understand. Now, these missionaries had no idea what was going on. They were planning on staying with these people for a while. They sent one fella up, back up the river, back up the Amazon for something. And he comes back, the tribe is gone, and the people are dead. Every last one of them. So apparently what had happened was they did something to alert the missionaries did something to alert the lost tribe that they were demons or something. And the leader, the chief, said, okay. They killed them. Every last one of them. Left them to rot. Now, how quick are we as a civilized people? How are we willing to do that? We're ready to do that now. We're ready to condemn people who do not think the way we do. Normies out there who are not as enlightened as we are. You guys here in chat. Richie, good morning. Let me see. Yeah, I had to get rid of that quick. I'm gonna get that mess out of here. Get out of here. Get out here. Brandy. I'm gonna take a moment to shout Brandy out. Brandy, God love you. You're a trooper. You've been marathoning my content for a while. I mean, going way back, commenting on stuff. Crazy. And thank you for doing that. You're seeing that I actually have been out there, boots on the ground, and I have been out there, exploring and doing things like that. And I've been taking you guys with me. It hadn't been for a while. I want to do that again, but it is what it is. That's right. It's true though. It's true though. But getting back to the label of demon. What is a demon? We associate that with a malevolent entity, something that is what we determine as evil. Are all of these creatures that pass through these portals demons? I personally don't believe so. You have a buddy named Gimli? uh, yeah, me and religion don't get along. Yes, they are. which you're right. Oh, yeah. Papa C. How you doing, Craig? Do tell, Max. Do tell. I'm curious. How do you know this? No, sir. Not on your life. My religion is the fact that we are all God's creation and we're part of Him. You know, it says we were made in God's likeness. How much of that do you believe? If you believe that, then you also have to believe somewhere that you have God's divine power within you, a spark. Now, I don't believe in I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in universal laws, and I believe that we all have that spark in us. We just have to find it. There's a lot to us that's been locked away, but I digress. How could that, dude? Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, Marty, be careful out there. Don't listen too hard. Watch the from them idiots out on the road. Glad you dropped by. Toot, toot, toot. Marty Mac says, "Keep your eyes on the road, Marty." Yeah, absolutely. Spread the love, man. But reaching into the fourth dimension, our minds are not geared that way. So it's easy for us to dismiss it. There's a whole point I've been trying to get to here with the concept of the fourth dimension and what we've been describing here. The concept of fourth dimension is hard to wrap our heads around. Really hard, to the point where it's not impossible. It's like how some, like, your avatar, let's say Pac-Man or Super Mario Brothers. It's just a continuous line of paper. They're just going moving across the screen. Doop, 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 like playing Pong, you know? And yeah, bye, Sandra. Be careful out there. And good luck, Marty. Good luck with the doctor. Hmm. So it would be hard to say that, if they had some type of consciousness of what they were doing, if they were being controlled, if they had any idea they were created and being controlled, how would they know? How would they look outside that two-dimensional world they live in into the third dimension, which is where we live, and be able to comprehend what we comprehend? How would we be able to look past that fourth dimensional wall that separates us from the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, the eighth, the 10th dimensions, all the way into those forms of reality? How could we do that? It's not impossible. But maybe through meditation, a little bit of study, we might be able to break that code. Yeah. It's crazy how you can look at that three-dimensional cube on paper, and you could be looking down or could be looking up. It's crazy, ain't it? It's it's great. Yeah. See, this is where the psychedelics come in. It is believed some academics who are into the field looked at psychedelics and its influence on religion and um, the creation of civilization, the advancement of humankind, so on and so forth, um, because it put us in another state of being. Um, it actually helped transport us on a mental, on a spiritual level to another area. We're not talking the crazy elf people or anything like that. It's just a totally different realm of being that opens you up to thought processes. Shrooms, yeah, Judy, that's what I'm talking about. The most natural, uh, we're talking about psilocybin. I've talked about that many times here. I'd actually love to try that. I don't. I'm not. I'm not looking to get high. I'm looking for that experience that puts me into another state of being. And I think everybody should do that. Yep. 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 That's right. Yes. Time, the fourth dimension is in time. But what is time? Time, relativity, thought. We can go from the fourth to the fifth dimension, leaping around. Mushrooms are food of evil. Oh, Lorette. All depends on how you use it. Everything's a tool. Is For the longest time, I viewed Ouija boards as tools of the devil, and I I've done a ton of research. I've looked into a lot of stuff, and they are keys to open doorways, yes. And unpracticed hands. The intent behind these things when they were released in mass to the public, you know, there were a board game for kids. Now let's open up a bunch of doorways and let a bunch of stuff in here, right? Now that the intent is evil. That the intent is evil. It's like the same thing is this for me is the same argument for firearms and firearm safety. You know, that it's like b- blaming mathematicians or blaming solutions mistake. It's just how I look at it. Some people can't. Some people can't. I'm afraid of ayahuasca because of what it might do to me. I don't, oh Lord. I'm not, from from a spiritual sense, I would like to try it, and see where it puts me in the universe. But coming back and the physical stuff that it does to you, no, not all into that. Right. This is true. This is true. Just it's yes, the intent. You can speak evil on people. You can do that. It's vibration, vibrational frequencies. You can project that stuff. Thoughts have power. Intent has power. It goes back to this. You look at someone, you stand in the checkout line at Walmart and you start looking at someone. Start thinking, I'm going to flick your ear. I'm going to flick your ear. I'm going to flick your ear and see if they don't turn around and look dead right at you. Or you've been standing in the checkout line yourself and turn around and find someone staring a hole through you. Right? It's that intent. The thought, the intent, it travels. We have powers and abilities we just do not comprehend. They're buried. It's just my belief. I think there's so much more to us. We could be living so much better lives if we could tap into that. But looking into the fourth dimension, a concept of the fourth dimension, okay, as opposed to the third dimension as opposed to the second dimension. These dimensional realities that run parallel to us, that are around us right now, that's exactly right. That's where quantum mechanics and physics start playing in with the other theorized dimensions. Yes, indeedy. Emotion. Emotion involves intent, correct? A certain road is paved with good intentions. Well, mm, that's right. That's right. You ever wonder? Okay, I'm not going to get so much into it because I just don't want to start a bunch of mess. But somebody said, "Rip the Band-Aid off," like you said you was gonna do. I think, well, I'll tell you what. You ever wonder why they call the Bible the King James Version? Look into King James. Look into King James. Do you also know he authored a book on demonology? Which, is what it is, but looking at how he treated his people. Look into what type of person King James really was. And then you ask yourself, why is it called the King James Version? Why are there apocrypha out here that are mentioned in the Bible but are not put in the Bible? And don't tell me it was God's will, because that's BS. That's total BS, because they were found. Exactly. That's very well. That's very well put, Max. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, ain't it? But anyway, I'm not running too long today. Um, I'm gonna jump off of here and wrap this up real quick. I want to thank you guys for being here and putting up with my mess. Uh, thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. What is it? Tony Merkel says the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. He's right. He's absolutely right. Every time he says it, I'm like, you're so right, man. Right. It goes back. It goes back a long ways. Yeah, it goes back a long ways. I'm not saying there's not a lot of good content there. I'm just saying that there's some things you need to study. Um, there is a divinity involved when you study the word, okay? And when there are certain verses that pop out to you that tell you to use discernment. What does it mean to use discernment? Good judgment and study. Okay. Elizabeth, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you. Y'all think for yourself. You guys are all free thinkers, and I appreciate that. That's the reason why you're here. Blessings to everyone who's been here today. Thank you for standing by and hanging out. Thank you, Judy. Thanks, Max. Buck, thank you. Thanks for all the great conversation. Thank you, Lorette. Papa C, thank you. Y'all have a great and wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. I might be doing something again tomorrow to make up for yesterday, doing a Friday special. So I'll let you know in the community section what's going to be going on. Oh, you're welcome, Buck. I appreciate what you do. You guys, you come along with a definition where I was struggling, man. I was trying to pull that out the ether. It's like I was trying to my best to try my best. It's like, oh, damn it, man. Whoa, no. What I say about coincidence, huh? Nope. All right, I love you guys. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Until tomorrow, same Raven time, same Raven channel. Won't be here. Y'all have a great and fantastic day. Enjoy it. Live it up. Love life. Until then, love you, mean it. Bye.